Representative Ferdinand L. Hernandez as Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect to the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal as member Representative Jan J.P. Padiernos.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to reconsider the election of Representative Zia Alonto Adjong as Deputy Majority Leader and instead nominate and elect Representative Adjong as Chairperson of the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect Representative Zia Alonto Adjong as Assistant Majority Leader.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect the Special Committee on Reforestation as Chairperson, Noel Bong Rivera, to the Committee on Appropriations as member, Arthur Yap, to the Committee on Energy as Vice Chairperson, Arthur Yap, to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges as member, Jolo Revilla III, Vice, Catherine Joyce Goriseta, to the Committee on Housing and Urban Development as members, Jonathan Flores, Rodolfo Ordanes, Milagros Aquino Magsaysay, to the Committee on Labor and Employment as member, Romel Rico T. Angara, to the Committee on Natural Resources as Senior Vice Chairperson, Jose C. Alvarez, to the Committee on Women and Gender Equality as Vice Chairperson, Yeda Marie Romualdez, as members, Julian Jan Boronda, Daphne Lagon, Jane Castro, Jocelyn Tulfo, Richelle Singson, Milagros Aquino Magsaysay, Nina Lacson, and Gurley Veloso, to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development as member, Romel Angara, to the Special Committee on ASEAN Affairs, Rachel Arenas, to the Special Committee on Creative Industries as members, Rufus Rodriguez, Mika Swansing, Miro Kimbo, Luigi Villafuerte, Richard Gomez, Bella Swansing, Angelo Marcos Barba, Laarni Roque, Ryan Recto, Brian Revilla, and Brian Poe. To the Special Committee on Globalization and WTO as members, Josefina Talyado, Ann Natibag, Patricia Calderon. To the Special Committee on Nuclear Energy as Vice Chairperson, Rachel Del Mar and Leody Tariela as members, Arnan Panaligan, Jaisal Yu, Robert Estrella, Brian Poe, and Jan Padiernos. Just to clarify, Madam Speaker, to the Special Committee on ASEAN Affairs as Senior Vice Chairperson, Rachel Arenas. Thank you.
There's the motion.
The parliamentary status of House Bill number 4058 is that it is in the period of amendments and we have already adopted the committee amendments last Wednesday, the 8th of October 2025. I now move to recognize the sponsor of the bill, Representative Michaela Angela B. Swansing, Chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations.
Representative Swansing, Chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations, is recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much to the Majority Leader. I am now open to deliberating on the amendments pertaining to the General Appropriations Bill.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, earlier we have distributed to the members copies of the substitute bill of House Bill number 4058. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Section 106 of our rules, I move to amend by substitution the entire bill as contained in Committee Report number 7 with the contents of the substitute bill earlier distributed to all the members. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any?
Because a substitute bill is actually a new bill. And if we look at our rules, consolidation and substitution are both considered the same. By way of substituting the new bill, are we not going to introduce a new bill? Because as per my experience at the committee level in the past, when there are about 2 or more bills related, they are consolidated into one and substituted. Well, in this case, if we substitute now during the period of amendment, will it not require a new procedure, a new process going back to debating?
Majority Leader, please
Yes.
respond.
Madam Speaker, to respond to the query of the gentleman from Davao, again, As previously mentioned, under section 106 of our rules covering amendments, it says on the top of page 68, a motion by the majority leader to amend by substitution of the entire bill or joint resolution shall precede consideration of individual amendments to the bill or joint resolution under consideration.
Yes, I do accept that. As again, I am not objecting, but I just want to be clarified with the procedure, considering that it is a new bill. So I remember there was one instance in the past, in the reproductive health bill, that during the period of amendments, a substitute bill was introduced and it was accepted by the author, the late Honorable Lagman. But the new bill was also subjected to a new kind of debate. I'm just saying this and for just purposes of accepting the explanation. I'm just pointing out that a new bill will require another procedure. So I just hope that it will be addressed, Mr. Speaker.
Your comments duly noted. Majority Leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, just to continue with the query of Kong Ungab. There were 7 instances in which this rule was used, particularly with the Create More Bill, the Cooperative Code, Maharlika Bill, Binigyang-diin is one, Reproductive Health, the BARMM law, and the Train law, all of which were replaced by substitute bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to, because if our purpose is to replace the small committee procedure, then the purpose is for transparency. So this should be more transparent.
Madam Speaker,
Majority Leader.
with regards to that query, may I move that we request the sponsor, Congresswoman Singh, for her clarification.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Swan Singh, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, in terms of the procedure, so all the amendments that were incorporated into the second reading version of the General Appropriations Bill, which were circulated to the members earlier, before the plenary session, were deliberated on by the Budget Amendments Review Subcommittee last October 8, 2025. So all of the whole deliberation was live streamed. It's live streamed and it lasted for around, I believe, 20 hours in total, including the first Budget Amendments Review Subcommittee. So in terms of transparency, we can vouch for that on the part of the Committee on Appropriations, as well as the Budget Amendments Review Subcommittee, that all of the amendments were deliberated on and are reflected in the second reading version, and there will be no other amendments that will be incorporated into the General Appropriations Bill after it is approved on second reading. So we can commit to our distinguished colleague, the Honorable Isidro Ungab, that all the amendments were deliberated on, that are accordingly reflected in the second reading version, and there will be no other amendments after the GAB is approved on second reading.
Thank you, Honorable Swan Singh. Majority Leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you. That being the case, I repeat my motion. I move to amend by substitution the entire bill as contained in Committee Report number 7 with the contents of the substitute bill earlier distributed to all the members. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to proceed with the individual amendments, if any.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none, the motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Sergio Dagoc from the party list APEC for his individual amendment.
The Honorable Sergio Dagoc from APEC Parties is recognized for his amendments.
Madam Speaker, apologies, I withdraw my motion and move to recognize Jose Manuel Chel Diokno from party list Akbayan for his individual amendment.
The Honorable Chel Diokno is recognized for his individual amendment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am referring, Madam Speaker, to the unprogrammed appropriations, specifically Volume 1B, pages 659 to 662. We ask that the Honorable Sponsor consider the following amendment. that all pertinent line items under unprogrammed appropriations with a total amount of 243,222,549,000 pesos be revised to zero. If these items are truly part of the budget priorities, then they should be included in the programmed appropriations of the respective departments' budgets. I so move, Madam Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
Madam Speaker, to respond to the proposed individual amendment, so the committee has already included in the latest version of the General Appropriations Bill a revised special provision pertaining to the strengthening assistance for government infrastructure and social programs. In the latest version, in the second reading version of the GAB, wala na pong sagot. Infrastructure projects would no longer be part of the authorized uses for unprogrammed appropriations, save for infrastructure projects under foreign assisted projects. So ngayon po, wala nang sagip. Meron na lang pong strengthening assistance for government social programs. So ang papayagan na lang po natin na sa loob ng yung dating sagip would be those relating to social programs. So those that are there now, out of the 80 billion that was originally included under SAGIP, ang laman na lang po ng strengthening assistance for social programs would be 45 billion in total, and all of those relate to programs under the Department of Agriculture for subsidies to farmers, rice subsidies, DSWD as an augmentation for the 4Ps program, given that there is an expected shortfall in the funding for 4Ps given the reduction from last year. So nakaabang po yun doon. So the 45 billion left under strengthening assistance for social programs all relate to social programs. Wala na pong infrastructure projects sa SAGIP. Now, in terms of the treatment for the infrastructure projects under foreign assisted projects, as much as we would like to put all of them as separate line items under programmed appropriations, the FAPS projects, the FAPS infrastructure projects that are currently on the unprogrammed appropriations are there because of this specific reason. These projects did not make it to the deadline during the budget preparation. For foreign assisted projects to be included as programmed appropriations, it would require two things. First, a finalized contract with a multilateral or bilateral partner providing the foreign assistance, and second, MEDA board approval. These projects that are currently under unprogrammed appropriations are those FAPS projects that did not comply or did not make it to the deadline for these requirements. And hindi po natin pwedeng hindi pondohan ito sapagkat mga commitments po natin to with our multilateral and bilateral partners. For example, the World Bank, ADB, COICA, and JICA. And given that we know for a fact that these projects will start in the year 2026, we need to fund them because otherwise we will be reneging on our international commitments. So for that reason, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, as much as we would also like to recognize the point of our distinguished colleague, the Honorable Shell Jokno, to remove unprogrammed appropriations in toto, we are unable to do that because we need to put in funding for foreign assisted projects under unprogrammed appropriations. The other items po na kailangan talaga under unprogrammed appropriations would be budgetary support to GOCCs. We also need to provide for risk management. Otherwise, there would be commitment penalties. There's also one refund of service development fee for the right to develop non-PEDAI property in Tokyo, Japan. That is also an international commitment. Providing the prior year's LGU shares, that is provided for by law. And in terms of the revised AFP modernization program, also provided by law. Fiscal support arrears for comprehensive automotive resurgence strategy program, also provided for by law. Marawi siege victims compensation program, also provided for by law. And the comprehensive and adequate insurance protection of strategically important government assets and interest. Very important for us to keep that there, because in case of these unforeseen circumstances, we need to be able to provide funding right away. And lastly, for payment of personal services requirements, these kailangan po talagang iabang yon. So I can, even though we are unable to accommodate the proposed amendment of the Honorable Jokno, we can assure that in the latest second reading version of the General Appropriations Bill, we have already put in place safeguards to prevent potential abuses of disbursements towards infrastructure projects from unprogrammed appropriations. And with that, Madam Speaker, the committee rejects the proposed amendment.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, we join the sponsor in rejecting the amendment.
There's a motion to reject the proposed amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion
Madam
is approved. The
Yes, Madam Speaker.
proposed amendment is lost.
If I may, we object. First of all, I find that the reasons given by the Honorable Chair, whom I greatly respect, are very shallow and would be rewarding of negligence on the part of the other government agencies. At the same time, I believe we have a right to ask that this amendment, which has not been accepted, that I move that the body proceed to vote on the proposed individual amendment.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there is a motion to reject the proposed amendment, which is objected by the Honorable Jokno. I now move to divide the House. For the information of the body, an aye vote sustains the motion to reject the amendment, and the nay vote defeats it. The majority solicits an aye vote.
There is a motion to reject the proposed amendment, which was objected to by the Honorable Jokno. All those in favor to reject the proposed amendment, say aye. Aye. All those against the motion, say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is lost. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker,
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we would like to...
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker,
Mr. Speaker.
I
Majority Leader.
move to recognize the Honorable Ungab.
The Honorable Isidro now is recognized.
Majority Leader.